So here comes the reflection. Here comes the clarity. I don't know about you guys, but man, after I do a hard workout, I swear I just get flooded with, I'm just like reflecting on myself. I just get this clear, just a mental clarity after a workout. You feel me? And so, man, I was just thinking about how we always think that we have to either do it big, or nothing at all. And it might not be so clear that it is that way, but when you're looking at someone, you're thinking, man, I bet I could do more than that, stuff like that. Or, he should be doing more than that. No, you just have to be doing it, That's enough, is doing it. And so, people are like, man, I can't do that, So then they don't do it at all. It's like an all or nothing type of mentality. And so, no, man, you just gotta start slow, I started slow, Obviously, I'm not a fucking role model or whatever, but I mean, I'm just trying to share some insight. Maybe you guys can relate to, and so it just helps me to get it out there, I guess, But yeah, I just also was thinking about how this kind of ties in with the Bible as well. When you're doing things that give you shame, you want to hide from God, and so you want to, if you're going to church and stuff, you start doing bad things or whatever, and things that don't align with the way that you think that God wants from you, and then you start even getting further away from Him, But at that point, that's when you need to get even closer to Him, I don't know if that made some sense to anybody, but I just wanted to put that out there just to just provide a little bit more value into my videos. Recently I just learned how what gives value is the employees. The employees literally create the value. And then when you have someone like freaking that guy Jeff Bezos, they don't even pay 10% of the entire revenue to the workers, and I read all kinds of comments that are like, oh, if it wasn't for them, they're the ones creating the jobs, it's none of our business what money they have. Yeah, but I mean, dude, people can't even, people are barely scraping by, Some people can't just have a Amazon job. So imagine if they were to have increased every single worker's wage by literally 100%. They probably get maybe not even 40K, probably 30K, And I'm talking about California, though. So in California, they would get, I did this calculation with ChatGPT, actually, and they said that everybody makes about $41,000 a year. So if they doubled everybody's salary to $80,000 a year, that's perfect, man. That's the income that two people have to make in order to, survive, be good, and not just survive though. It's like a comfortable wage, I think, and that's the problem, is that we're just giving people something to barely scrape by to just survive, and then we're just so distracted by what we're doing, by the bills, I mean, and I don't think that's right, man, But so if they were to increase everybody's wage, that would still just be 20% of the entire revenue that the company makes. Only 20. That just still be 20%. I mean, what's stopping him though? What is so bad about doing that? Still be super profitable. I mean, at least people can have a wage where they can let their wife stay at home. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're putting your kids in daycare and you only make $20 an hour, it's literally you're paying them your entire income. You're you're paying them just so you can go to work and drop your kids off there. You know, it makes no sense. It just cancels it out, you know? So, I don't know what the answer is, but share your opinions, thoughts below. Have a great day, guys. Peace.